Hello guys, welcome to brand webinar in ICX. I really wanted to talk about this one with you in person. And yeah, this topic, wait a minute, I'm prepared. Brand is super crucial for our ICX product, for all of them, for IG, for IGV, for IGT, it doesn't matter, because in every of those products, we create our brand. And even for OGX, to be honest, brand plays a huge role because people will be talking about those IPs from Austria, or this is ICX in Austria. And that is why this topic is super crucial for us. And I divided the whole webinar to talk with you about it. I want to make sure that whatever we are working on throughout next year is a good brand, and it helps us to grow and achieve the results we want to achieve. That is why I will share with you three C of the good brand. And the first one is clarity. So why is it important for a good brand to have clarity? And what does it mean? When we say that brand has clarity, it means that the brand is aware of why it exists in the market, which problem it covers, which issues it works on, and which benefit it brings to its final customers. Then we can say that product has, and the product brand has the clarity. For example, we know that Empower Austria as a brand is providing young people with entrepreneurial mindset who are interested in entrepreneurship and startups. Empower Austria is providing those people to startups to help them out to cover their daily issues, or to cover their marketing, to cover their sales, IT, to help them with those tasks and to make sure that their business is growing. In this case, Empower Austria is our brand, and that's how we are helping out startups market in Vienna, in Graz, in Linz, wherever we are running Empower Austria. And that means that our brand has clarity. Second C is consistency. So what it means that whenever your brand is appearing, for example, being it on local event like Stammtisch, or maybe you see some article about Empower Austria in the newspaper, and every time the same information is communicated. So we say that Empower Austria can give your company young interns who are interested in entrepreneurship and can help you out with your business. That means that we are consistent in communication of our brand, our value, and our value proposition to those companies. And the third thing is constancy. That means that whenever we are appearing as the brand, we do it constantly. So we are not just like randomly popping out at some article once per year, and then we are not visible anywhere to anyone, but we actually take some effort into planning those appearances, being at media appearances or live appearances at events, or us posting something on our social media. We do it constantly, and we do not just make it once and then disappear from the eyes of our customer. And this is also super crucial for the customer, or for even not the customer yet, but for people who are following the brand and people who are interested about the brand, to know that this brand is constantly delivering same message, showing same value, and just lets know about himself in those channels. That is why those three C's are so crucial for our brand. One more time: clarity, consistency, and constancy. Those are the things that can help us to grow in our areas and can help us achieve better results. Now, what I wanted to actually tell you about is the specific connection between this brand description and what are we doing in ICX. Let's start with IG and talk about Empower Austria as brand, right? So you know that Empower Austria was established like 2 years ago, and as soon as the previous teams started brainstorming on this project, they came up with value proposition, which is based on the value propositions of global entrepreneur as product as it is, but also they came up with sub-products. They decided what would be main selling points they would go to startups with to sell Empower Austria. And that's how they made sure that brand has clarity, and we are not selling, for example, GT insurance, or we are not selling, I don't know, insurance with chemistry background. No, that's very simple. We are selling marketing, sales, internationalization, and business administration profiles for 3 months for the certain period of time with certain pricing and with certain selection process we are offering. That means that our brand had established its clarity on how and what we are selling. This is super important, and this is the thing we will do together with you on Taco. And I want you to get mentally and physically prepared for this, because we will review the clarity of our brand. We will see what are the values we will be offering to our startups in the future with Empower Austria. Of course, there will be no dramatic changes as like, okay, now we will call GV Empower Austria and we will start selling volunteering internships under the brand of Empower Austria. No, it will not happen. Empower Austria will remain the GE brand, but the things we will need to take a look at and refresh just a little bit are our sub-products, our pricing model, our value proposition we are offering to startups, and the way we are selling our brand to startups. So this is what we will be reviewing at Taco, and this will also help us to establish clarity on what we will be selling throughout next months to prepare for our summer peak. If we talk about consistency, this is the message to keep in mind, and consistency can show not only in the way you are communicating brand to externals throughout media channels, like through social media or through, I don't know, being published somewhere by some journal, like an article, or being present at the event. This is not simply talking about brand in the same way, but it also delivering the brand in the same way. For example, if we say that our startups will get the same service in Vienna, in Graz, or in Linz, that means that they will need to get the same service. And if we are very good and consistent in our communication with our stakeholders, that will help us to develop the consistency of our brand and show the good servicing and the good value. Those are the main things we have to do consistently by following up with our partners, by offering them short list of people, by also writing them reminders. The way we do it and the more professional and customer-centric we are helps us to build consistency of our brand and communicate same information and deliver the same value for each and every customer we are working with. And it also not only about startups, but also about our applicants who are applying to our opportunities. Super, super important to show them that IGE of ICX in Austria, meaning Empower Austria, is a great project where we reply fast, we service them fast, we help them to find right opportunities, and we are willing to do everything possible for them to enjoy the internship when they come here, and we deliver all the standards we have to deliver. This also influences our brand consistency. And about constancy, just to remind you, this is the one where we're saying that we are not simply appearing somewhere once per year and then just like, okay, that's our Empower Austria. And unfortunately, it's something that happens now when we have sales for winter peak and when we have sales for summer peak. It happens sometimes with some of our partners that we are just like, hi, in September, this is us, Empower Austria, would you like to take some intern? But during summer, throughout those whole months, we just like were nowhere. We were not talking to our partners. We were not trying to approach them more often. And this constancy can come in very, very simple action. actions. For example, Christmas is coming. Why not to design a nice postcard and send it to your startup in an email wishing them a Merry Christmas? This is a very nice step, and this helps you to remain connection to your partner and to not simply call them or contact them whenever you need something, but also show that you are interested in delivering great value for your stakeholder, and you are doing extra things to make it happen. So that what means to have constancy of the brand. That means that we are not appearing as someone who wants to use startups to do our realizations, but we are actually caring about our stakeholders and we are in constant communication with them. The same story is about us being present in the ecosystem of startups in Vienna and in Graz and in Linz. You know that in Austria, we are quite lucky because we have a great network of our stakeholders, meaning startups, who are already super interconnected between one another and who are in constant communication, going to some events, Stammtisch, Startup Live, whatever is happening. Most of the startup people are present there, and they are in constant touch and communication with each other. And if we are trying to be visible, for example, again, only in certain periods of time when we are doing sales, like September or October, or in our case, it will be January or February, that wouldn't make a lot of change, because it's even hard if you didn't hear anything about the brand before, and then someone gives you a cold call and like, hey, it's Empower Austria. But if before starting your sales, you already published article in the magazine, went on an event and talked to the person in person, or we have been partnering with someone who also said good words about Empower Austria at some gathering or some networking event, it will be super beneficial for us as well to boost our sales in a more pull strategy by already dropping some knowledge in the minds of our potential partners about Austria. So this is also related to constancy of our brand and how often we are out there, how we are visible, how people are talking about us. That impacts how they will be interested in cooperating with us. So remember about those 3 C's of brand: clarity, consistency, and constancy. And the last message for me in this short webinar is, every time think of what are your actions doing to your brand, how are they impacting your brand. Whenever you are thinking, okay, I will reply tomorrow to this email, or I will call him later, or it's okay that I didn't call him even though I promised, think which damage it can bring to your brand, but also think, what can I do more? Which additional nice things I can add to my servicing to make sure my brand is developing and my brand has a very good image in the eyes of my stakeholders. Good, that would be it. I will also leave you a short question to make sure you watch this webinar, and you'll have a chance to answer this question in the form, which I will attach to the description of this video. So, okay, I want you to tell me, what is constancy as one of the 3 C of brand is about. Good, thank you guys. See you at Taco.